The word and we'll get underway.
Always a pleasure, Captain. Everything's 5 by 5, Captain. Glad to be a part of the team.
Escape trajectory plotted. Aim point reached. Orbit stable.
concerning the large ship in orbit, and we value discretion in this matter. If you are willing and able, please see me as soon as possible at the main security office in Paradiso. Over and out.
Good to go for landing.
Picked up something you might be interested in. Yes? Actually, yes, I do. Here you are. Time to go?
It may be paradise, but that doesn't mean we don't run into trouble from time to time.
Welcome to Paradiso. Jiro Tsukiyama at your service. Do you have a security concern, or is there something else I can help you with? Ah, yes, of course. I'm glad you came. As you can imagine, we're in a bit of a predicament. Under normal circumstances, we would not enlist outside help in this manner. But this is a matter we can't afford to worry our guests about. As such, we need to handle this discreetly. Failure on your part to do so could have severe consequences. So, before we proceed, can you swear not to discuss this with anyone else unless explicitly directed to do so? Oh, that's quite the claim. If that's the case, I think it would be prudent to go speak with them and find out exactly what they plan to do about it. Whatever you do, it's important to remember to seek diplomacy with who or whatever's on board. As soon as you have any more information, report to Oliver Campbell. He's the CEO of Paradiso. All formal decisions will need to go through him, and he'll have your pay. Good luck. Neither. We're our own private force. The Paradiso Group pays top dollar for top-notch security. And I dare say we're some of the best in the business. We have to be out here on the fringes of the settled systems. Honestly, it's not as exciting as you might think most of the time. More often than not, we're just handling drunk and disorderly conduct. Heck, even pirates leave us alone for the most part. I think it's because some of them actually vacation here. As long as they're not bothering anyone, we've been told not to worry about them. Yes. Are you still willing to help with that strange ship? All attempts at communication have failed, so we don't know of its intentions. It bears no discernible markings or allegiances to any manufacturers we're aware of. I'm hoping that doesn't mean we're dealing with some sort of new deep space threat. Can't say for sure. Looks worn, but not cobbled together like a Crimson Fleet junker. Others have been saying it's some new Varun design, a gigantic battleship with hidden armaments preparing for assault, but that doesn't check out either. There's also been talk about non-human sentient life. The comms data we received might support that, but humanity's spread far and wide and no one's ever encountered anything like that. Still, first contact. Could you imagine? Not quite. It took some time, but we received a transmission. It was all, pardon the phrasing, it sounded almost alien, like nothing anyone's heard before. Clicks, distorted groans, buzzing, really disturbing sounds. Now, one of our engineers says it could just be some busted comm equipment or incompatible signals, but we're not sure. So far, no one's disembarked from the ship. No landing craft, nothing. We don't have the staff or ships to spare, otherwise we'd dock with it and attempt to board. It is. Whatever's going on, we need to approach this with care. First, see if you have more luck communicating with them. If not, you may have to try boarding. Whatever you do, it's important to remember to seek diplomacy with who or whatever's on board. As soon as you have any more information, report to Oliver Campbell. He's the CEO of Paradiso. All formal decisions will need to go through him, and he'll have your pay. Good luck.
visit our resort. Your repeat patronage is much appreciated. Is there any assistance I can offer?
Time to get this ship moving.
All thrusters firing. Hell of a view from here. Green lights on outer hatch. We're docked.
Stay alert. Weapons at the ready.
Remain calm. There's no reason to suspect that you're human. You seem to know an awful lot about us. I can only assume your ship has some sort of advanced scanning capabilities, or there exists some record of our mission somewhere.
Imagine being cut off from humankind for that long. How terribly frightening that would be.
Perhaps we should greet our guests.
Of course. Manners. I'm Captain Diana Brackenridge. This is Security Officer Bomani Reader. And this is Dr. Mabuti da Costa, one of our elders.
A pleasure to meet you.
I see. As you may have presumed, we're in a bit of a bind. Our ship has finally completed its near 200-year journey from Earth, only to find our new home seemingly colonized by... well, we don't know. Communications haven't been successful, so your arrival is fortuitous. Perhaps you'd be willing to act as a middle person between ourselves and the others. Your question confirms one of our recent theories. It would seem that some form of faster-than-light travel or space-bending technology was invented during our long journey. That would explain why we would find people this far out into space. I guess technology leapfrogged us at some point. Interesting. I can only imagine that our predecessors didn't believe the technology would ever work, and so they made the decision to leave when they did. Well, the short answer is, we didn't. It's a generation ship, which is to say that most of us lived long, happy lives on board and passed our mission down to our children. It was never intended that the original crew would make it to our destination. The goal was always the preservation of the human race above all else. Though, it would seem that was perhaps a bit presumptuous. We're not entirely sure. Our engineers believe it's possible that our technology just isn't compatible with theirs. All we hear when using them to communicate with anyone is a bunch of disturbing noise. It gave me the heebie-jeebies at first. We do. Well, sort of. We saw structures using our surveying equipment. We've also seen the various ships pass us by. Some even seemed to want to communicate, but couldn't. Of course, we had no idea that they were being piloted by other humans. Of course, we know that now. Human or not, we were still unable to communicate our intentions. As soon as we discovered them, we fully expected negotiations would be necessary. Now then, please follow me. There's much to discuss first. We'll speak more on the matter once we reach the bridge. Dr. DaCosta, you may return to your quarters if you wish.
Thank you, Captain. I will follow you to the bridge, ma'am, for security purposes.
I do not believe we have need to fear our guest, but I'll allow it if you insist. Welcome to the Earth colony ship Constant. In the early 2100s, my ancestor, Rupert Brackenridge, researched a number of scientific scenarios: climate change, asteroid impact, nuclear war, global pandemic, and more. Each scenario showed the likelihood of an extinction-level event to be within 50 years. He fully believed Earth was destined to be rendered uninhabitable. We've always assumed that's what happened. So, he gathered the best and brightest he could find, built the Constant, and set a course for this planet here. We were told that it was the largest, most advanced ship ever constructed on Earth at the time. If you can believe, entire generations have been born, lived, and died on this ship. It really goes to show that there are no limits to human ingenuity and perseverance.
We've got strict rules around here, but they're strict for a reason.
Careful waving that fancy gun around. You don't need to see what it can do.
So, here we are. Let's talk. We didn't believe anyone would be out here, but I'm glad for it. I think I'm coming up on 6 years now. I was only a teenager when my father died, passing command of the ship to me, as is tradition. Because of that, I've had to sort of learn as I go along, instead of taking years of study and apprenticeship under the prior captain. I think some people on the ship resent me for not having the level of experience as my predecessors. But at the same time, without my command, we likely wouldn't have made it here so quickly. Difficult is the wrong word. It can be both challenging at times and also exciting. Our mission was to rebuild humanity on a distant world, believing that we were Earth's last hope. To think that while there has always been a Brackenridge in the captain's chair, that I am the one to finally oversee our journey's end is truly exhilarating. But with this stumbling block in our path, at this final moment, I fear tough choices will need to be made. A bit frazzled, as you can imagine. People are anxious about discovering that we're not alone, and also worried about what will come to pass. While we hope we can work out a deal with the people on the surface, they seem reluctant to reach out, so there's no telling what will come of that. I do know that we can't afford to stay here in orbit forever. The ship was built to sustain us for many years with backup provisions just in case, but even that will come to an end eventually. Well, as I mentioned, we've been unsuccessful in communications with anyone up until you arrived, though not for lack of trying. But since you're asking, maybe you'd be willing to be a sort of diplomat between us and them as we attempt to resolve our situation. Does that sound agreeable to you?
I was hoping you wouldn't.
Ah, so they have a name. Paradiso. And it sounds promising that they sent you here to speak with us. You see, we intended to settle here, but we assumed that they intend to defend their claim given their presence here. We'd like you to go speak to them on our behalf and help us negotiate a solution, preferably one that favors us. Yes, of course. But we need to start from a firm position and state our goal. If need be, we can compromise, work out a mutually beneficial deal or some such, but initially I'd like you to be firm with them and convince them to leave the planet to us. Let me know how they respond, and we'll go from there. I'm serious. We have a rightful claim to this land, and I intend to fight for it. But as you're currently our only hope, perhaps you'll honor my request and give it your all, for the sake of some very weary travelers who have come a very long way to be here. Thank you.
Hey!
Just stay out of trouble. To address threats coming from outside our ship.
Constant is a peaceful ship. Just because our equipment's old doesn't mean it won't work to take.
Counted for. We are ready to depart.
Ready for action, Captain?
Clear for flight.
Oh, Paradiso is absolutely beautiful. Can you possibly imagine a more tranquil place for a resort?
We try to stay out of our guests' way, but we're always here feeding.
Welcome to Paradiso.
I'm here to satisfy your needs.
Oh, this looks like a lovely place for a stay. Might also be the perfect time to stop for some food.
Excuse me, you can't just waltz in there. Do you have an appointment? Oh, you're the one they're waiting for then. Do you need anything else from me before you meet with the board? Take care.
One of these days, I'd love to experience this resort the way our guests
During the
do.
day, I'm all business. But when work's done, I like to enjoy the resort like everyone else. I can't speak for anyone else, but I've got a pretty high-pressure job working as the executive assistant to the Paradiso board. You can imagine, dealing with a team of execs, trying to manage all of their schedules and their other whims. But it pays well, and they give me a nice executive suite at the hotel to live in, so it's not all bad. Free access to all the resort's amenities after work helps too. What I could tell you would get me in a lot of trouble. Most of them are typical C-level execs. I doubt you even need to use your imagination for that. The ones that show up to work day to day, at least. I swear, I've never even met some of them, because they chill at their own private, secluded beach homes all the time. Anyway, be smart around Oliver. He's got a way of getting what he wants without you realizing it. And that's all I'll say. People were a little freaked out around here, understandably. It looks so different and it's so massive. We honestly thought we were under attack by an unknown entity. But then, nothing happened. It just stayed there. No one could communicate with it. And we've been very careful not to alert the resort guests. The board believed it would be bad for business. Sure. Have fun in the shark tank. And don't worry, even they call it that.
I just feel that we should be focusing on the natural beauty of this planet, not our amenities.
There are millions of planets out there. People can go to any one of them. The resort facilities are precisely what we bring to the table. Heck, it's the only thing we've really got to offer.
I don't want to risk us coming off as just another artificial, shady, trash-filled dump like Neon. That's not who we are. We've got something special here. We should embrace that.
Balaam's right.
Thank you.
We don't want to compete with Neon. Bayou's ruthless. He'll do anything he can to eliminate the competition. We don't need that kind of trouble. That being said, I think there's a middle ground. Maybe build up the beachfront at a boardwalk amusement park. I've had this idea to build artificial hot springs, that sort of thing. If it's not important, bring it up with Kiwi. I am. And you must be the diplomat Giro told me about. Welcome, welcome. Normally I'd offer you an all-inclusive stay at our resort before we spoke. But given the circumstances, I'm going to cut to the chase. We've got our friends, the aliens, up there causing all sorts of problems for our resort. You like that? The marketing team came up with it. The thought is, if we can't get rid of them, it might actually attract more tourism. Come see the aliens! Ah, so it's a colony ship of sorts. Wonderful. That complicates things a bit. As much as I appreciate you showing some initiative, we'll need to discuss this with the present board members and come up with a plan to our liking. Now, tell me, what are we going to do about it? Give me some proposals, people. I need something to work with here.
We could offer to resettle them here. There's more than enough space.
They could stay here, temporarily, but it'll cost them. Quite a bit, too. They'd need to work off all their debts before being allowed to leave.
Maybe not. What if we help them get out of here? Outfit their ship with a grav drive so they can find a new home. We could even lend our engineers to help and give their captain an updated star map. What do you think?
Sounds costly. We can't absorb that cost, and it's unlikely they even have compatible currency, let alone enough for the transaction. Someone else would have to foot the bill.
Oh, I swear this would be a lot easier if they ceased to exist entirely. Anyway, Seema's got the right idea. Either works for me. Just tell me what you want to do. Oh, I need to say that specifically. This would be a mutual contract for room and board in exchange for services rendered. Of course, there's no telling how long this arrangement will last, given the substantial costs we'd need to take on in order to accommodate them here, including their continued room and board. But this may save the resort on operating costs in the long term, as we'd be able to let go of some of our current paid staff. We own this planet, they don't. Here at Paradiso, we don't like leaving things to chance. Who knows what these people will do with their land? Imagine the landscaping disasters they might come up with, and how that might mar the satellite imagery of the planet in our brochures. No, much better to assimilate them into our culture if they come here to live, rather than leave it to chance. Well, absurd or not, that's our official stance. I make the decisions that are best for our entire group. You don't. I'm not suggesting anything, other than it would make our lives so much easier if that ship ceased existing. Make of that what you will. We operate outside of the Free Stars only, you see, partially because we don't want anyone else meddling in our affairs. And we'd rather not draw attention to it, as I've mentioned. It could be bad for business. We'd much rather settle this independently. It's not our responsibility to bear the brunt of that cost. We're being more than generous by offering the use of our engineering team to help install it. A custom grav drive can't come cheap, and I assume they have neither the monetary means nor the connections to get a hold of that kind of technology. That leaves the only other party in this negotiation. You. And which proposal will you be taking to the good captain? I assume there's a captain? Ah, good on you. You want to see a man named Benny St. James over at Hope Tech. He's the best in the business. If anyone can retrofit a 200-year-old ship with a modern grav drive, it'd be him. We'll coordinate our engineering team with his when you return, though you may have to help the Constance engineers prepare for it on their end. Good luck.
I know this was a difficult decision, but if it's any consolation, I think you've made the right choice. Compared to the destruction of their vessel and relegating them to a life of servitude, I'd say this is the best chance they've got.
Right. On behalf of the Paradiso Group, we appreciate your help.
Sounds good. I'll look into what that will cost us and we can circle back around to this.
Just doing my part to make sure Paradiso remains a paradise.
Yet another nice day in Paradiso.
Hope you're having a pleasant day.
Enjoy your stay, knowing you're in our capable hands.
I'm just glad I don't work on the luxury cruisers that bring people here. I shouldn't be telling you this, but don't order the 6-prawn delight. Just don't.
Hey there. I'm fairly new here, so sorry in advance if I screw something up.
On deck.
Dust off complete. Achieving orbit now.
Hello, stranger. I just finished cooking up some food. If you want to come on over, just pop on by. working on this infernal thing too much. Just come on over. Food's still warm, dear heart.
We have a clean dock, right on the money.
Well, hello. Was hoping you'd drop by. The worst part of space travel is having to eat alone. I used to eat with my better half every meal until he passed. I've got plenty. I hope you're hungry. Time's what happened. He led a rich, full life. I used to tell my kids that life is a sexually transmitted disease that's 100% fatal. They hated it when I said that. My, oh my, so formal. It is a particular pleasure to meet you, my good sir. I finally retired last year, and I've been traveling all over. I wish I could have done this when I was younger, but it's still a treat. My grandkids are mortified that I'm out here. Positively livid. You wouldn't believe the characters I've encountered. I got good shields, and I always have enough helium-3 to jump somewhere safe. I'm careful. So, what do you think of the settled systems? I can't believe there are so many stars, planets, moons, and whatnot. It makes my head spin just thinking of it. Ain't that the truth? I'm afraid I'm worn out, dear heart. I'm at the tail end of a very long day. But feel free to grab some extra food or whatnot. I've got plenty. Keep on traveling, dear heart. I'm just gonna grab a quick nap.
Let me know when you're ready to launch.
Pressure normalizing. Undocking complete.
Welcome to Freestar Space. We're gonna do a quick scan for contraband, and you can be on your way. Scan complete. You're clear to land. Setting down, everything in the green.
While we're here, we should swing by Hope Tech Star Yard and see if they have anything interesting for sale.
I don't want to hear any complaints. Keep an eye on your valuables.
It's great to see you. How was Mom?
Excuse me. A little desperate here.
I remember meeting Ron Hope once. Idealistic and perhaps a bit of a dreamer. But you have to admire what he's accomplished. John Hope certainly embodies the saying, spared no expense.
Howdy.
Oh, hello. Someone worth paying attention to. Oh, hello. I'm not used to people wanting to talk to me. Sure, that sounds like me. What can I do for you? I'm a little busy, but I think I could spare some time. Oh, you should have just said that. Of course I can help you. Oliver sent a courier ahead of you. I did some research on ships from that era, and I have a decent idea what we're dealing with. So grav drives didn't really take off until after the ship was built. But I've got access to an ancient grav drive that looks like it could be compatible. With some minor adjustments. It's in good shape, too. Parts not cheap, though. Neither is the labor. Just pay the combined cost of parts and labor, and it's yours. It's a pretty big ask, given how rare these old grav drives are. Perhaps not, but I don't want to just settle for an offer far below its value. This part is incredibly difficult to come by. Yeah, I hope so. I'm still willing to talk. I hear you. Tell you what, sounds like this is for a good cause. While I can't give you the part for free, I won't charge you for the work. Oh, doesn't look like you have enough credits. It's hard to find one of these parts around anymore. So I'm going to need the credits up front. Come back when you've got enough. I'll still be here.
Dust, such for the factory.
Off-worlders, nothing ever good comes from it. Just keep it holstered. You'll get along fine.
don't suppose I have time for a nap before we leave.
Engines firing. Here we go. Retros firing. Orbit stabilized. Navigational feedback checks out.
Unregistered
We're in the right
Starship.
place.
We're detecting. Well, it's what we're not detecting that's an issue. What's powering that thing? You know what? Just hold still while we do the contraband check. Scan complete. You are cleared to land at New Atlantis. Please enjoy your visit to Jemison.
Not sure if those Varun zealots live in space or got separated from them.
Huh. Well, isn't this a pleasant surprise? I hadn't expected to run into you again. Yes, well, I had good reason to be distressed. You had already helped me establish that there is something unprecedented going on with this tree. Now my superiors have been made aware. There is growing concern. Oh my. A bit of an unintentional pun, isn't that? Well, concern that things are going to get worse. The data we gathered points to a definitive trend. The vibrations coming from this tree are increasing in strength and frequency. Because we've never seen this before, not on this scale, we have absolutely no idea what the upper limit is. We don't know when or even if this will stop. It's imperceptible by normal human standards now, but given time. While I hesitate to speculate on the possibilities, well, none of them are good. Yes, and not just humans. All organic life will be affected. Low-frequency vibrations are not uncommon in this species. The vibrations help disperse nutrients throughout the tree. However, normally the vibrations are imperceptible. If the vibrations continue to increase in frequency and strength, prolonged exposure could lead to harmful and potentially deadly side effects. It's imperative we find a way to correct this. There is data regarding other, younger members of the species. Unfortunately, there are some, shall we say, personal issues with acquiring it. Personnel issues, if you understand me. What? No, that is ridiculous. I am a professional. One of the other researchers in MAST, Emilio Hadek, has research I believe could be vital to my work here. He and I don't see eye to eye, and so far, he's refused to turn it over to me. I'm hoping that if someone else were to ask, he might be more inclined to relinquish it. What do you say? He's held a grudge against me for years. It's petty, really. I'm sure he thinks that doing this now will hold back my career. He wouldn't listen when I tried to explain this isn't about me. There are bigger concerns. Oh, thank you. Last I knew, he was on a field assignment somewhere near the outskirts of the city. Perhaps it's best if you don't mention my name in the process?
Mind your step. Important research happening here. Could you stand a little to the left? I think you're blocking my readings. Trees? I see what's going on here. You're working with Kelton, aren't you? Nice try, but it's not happening. No. No way. Kelton is actively ruining my career. There's no chance that I'm helping him with anything. Whatever this thing is he's on about, he's just doing it to make himself look good with the higher-ups. I'm not helping him with that. Yeah, that's all very touching. But cathartic or not, my career would still be in flames. He really won't let this go, will he? Maybe I can make this work in my favor. Okay, you know what? I'll hand over the data. But I'm only going to do so after you've helped me secure a better position in MAST. Oh, don't worry. You're just going to erase some files for me. Make sure I look good next time promotions get passed around. Wait, really? Wow. Okay. Okay.
I'll follow your lead, but I wish handling our tree issue didn't involve using illegal methods to get the job done.
I've gotten a few bad performance evaluations in the last couple of years. Totally unjustified, incredibly unfair. I found a backdoor into the MAST network so I could make some changes to my personnel file, but it turns out the chief engineer knows what she's doing. The only way to get access is from the terminal in her apartment, which is kind of locked. Sorry, that's not on the table. There is, and I already explained exactly what it is. Advancing my career is the right thing to do, so that's what I'm focused on. I just want to make a name for myself, you know? I'm sure you can understand. Okay, look. Just hear me out, all right? I really need this to happen. If you do this for me, I can make it worth your while. You delete that data, I get promoted, I'm pulling in a bigger salary. I can compensate you. I'll throw in some extra credits for you, okay? A nice little bonus. But first, you need to get into the chief engineer's apartment. Oh, good. Thank God. You really had me on the ropes there. Listen, this will be good for the both of us, okay?
If it were up to me, we'd be walking away from this deal right now.
Then it's a good thing your partner over there is making all the decisions, isn't it? Just get in, access her terminal, delete the files, and get out. Really simple. Oh, don't worry about it. It's just, pretty much everything in my personnel file. Most of it is fine, of course. I'm good at what I do. I just received a few very unfair reviews recently, and I figure, why not start over completely? Ugh, you've definitely been working with Kelton. He's starting to rub off on you. Between you and me, as little as possible. I'm just kidding, of course. I work really, really hard at my job. Studied in computational bioscience, did some time in agrogenetics. These days, I just help out wherever I can. Waiting for a good opportunity, maybe an opening in administration. You know how it goes.
If this shift doesn't end soon, my man is not gonna be happy.
How are things going?
I'm doing great,
With the consignment shop closed,
learn to pick up. You know what, on second thought,
You didn't hear this from me, but those ecliptic mercenaries?
My mother wanted me to be a doctor. A doctor?
At least you're a distraction from work. You have some good news for me? They sure are. I took a peek on the network, saw that things have updated. Great job. You came through for me, so now I'll do the same for you. This slate has all the data Kelton needs. And because I am a man of my word, here are the extra credits I promised.
I've met so many interesting people from working at the distributions. I tried to tell my colleagues that botany was important. I tried to warn them.
I hope you have the data. It's really quite crucial. You're absolutely right. I don't want to know. I'm sorry if this was complicated. I'd prefer to remain unaware of the details in the event that it comes up later, particularly in a legal setting. And I suppose I'd better verify the data to make sure Emilio didn't double-cross me. But you have once again come through for me. I'm truly hoping that this is the last piece I need to figure out what we can do. That is hardly reassuring. It is, in fact, the exact opposite. Still, though, thank you for your assistance.
ingredients we can only get during that magical time of year.
Really? What's there to even do on?
I'm so excited to see Tony after work.
All right, let's get this crate into space.
Lifting off now. Stay in orbit or jump. Your call.
Approaching ship, you've entered Freestar Collective space. Maintain your current course while we scan for contraband. You're good to go. Have a nice time in Aquila City.
looks peaceful from up here, doesn't it? Landing site locked. Take us in.
Got a call, someone's power kept going out. Know what it was?
Just keep your gun holstered during your stay.
Hey, I heard you had Dunlop's disease.
Always fond of high-gravity environments. Nothing like performing double the effort to achieve half the efficiency.
Digital copy of the things I buy here?
Oh, I'm sorry. We'll go. We'll go.
You should try Filburn's
Just need to
beer.
find a
It's
time.
brewed in the city, and it ain't bad.
Neon? They're barely a part of the Freestar Collective.
Kate, hold up.
We got a lot of bars in the city, all class joints.
So,
well,
Henry's new bat.
Daggies.
How'd it go over?
I feel
know
for the
you
folk
like
in the
Henry.
stretch. Try and give a credit or two to the low house
What?
when I'm able.
There's something wrong?
Yes?
Sam said it tasted off.
really off. Gladys said it was fine. Then she dumped her whole glass on the floor when she thought I wasn't looking.
No.
I don't think we should carry Henry's stuff anymore. Our regulars have stopped ordering his old stuff, too.
I'll break the news to Henry. Welcome to the Stone Root Inn, one of Aquila City's oldest and proudest establishments. What can I do for you? There certainly is. My family's owned and operated this place going back generations. Why, the Stone Root's been around so long, it's even older than Midtown, and that's saying something. Aquila City folk value legacy and tradition deeply, and by running this, I get to be part of that. Always nice to see a new face. Take care.
If you're looking to stay, Eloise can handle that. My job's, well, everything else. Keeping the inn running smoothly keeps me hopping. Eloise can hook you up with a drink or a room. I just help out around the place.
Your next stop wouldn't be the Charybdis system, would it? You gotta report up to the president. If you're looking for work, Mayor Cartwright might have something.
I really don't understand why Weston can't rein in his brother a little. How much are we going to lose on this brewing nonsense? Weston needs to get his brother focused on food production instead of wasting time brewing beer. If I ran things, we wouldn't have this problem. Something happened to Henry's beer? That's terrible. So terrible. But I'm sure I know nothing about it. Here's some credits for delivering the news. I expect that's the last I'll be seeing of you.
sounded intense. Could have gone down so
The Council of Governors meet in our very own Aquila City.
Is there any type of weapon combat tech?
It's good to be back on board.
Lifting off now. Orbital insertion completed.
Welcome to Akira City, I guess. Watch it. Ships coming and going all the time.
You know I went to chef school?
Hello there. So good to see you. Good to meet you, friend. Name's Elias Cartwright. I'm the mayor of Aquila City. Now, I've got a memory for faces, and I can't say I've seen yours around here before. I make it a point to introduce myself to everyone who passes through our fine city. As the founder himself once said, there's no substitute for a warm welcome and a friendly smile. You're more than welcome. As I'm sure you know, us folk in the Freestar Collective put great stock in human kindness and generosity of spirit. I like to think that's what sets us apart from our neighbors in the United Colonies. We don't rely on machines or bureaucracy. We rely on each other. I won't pry about what brought you here. That's all of your business and none of mine. However, I'd be more than happy to give you the scoop about the core and Midtown. The core is the oldest district and represents the original settlement dating back to the days of Solomon Coe. The descendants of the original settlers still make their home there today. Midtown's where most of the business and trading gets done. It's not as old as the core because it was built later as the city grew. As the name might suggest, Wallside's the district that runs along the inside of the Great Wall that surrounds the city. It's mostly farmers and other laborers that live down there. They ain't got quite as much space, but it's cheaper, so it all works out. Ah, you must be referring to The Rock. It's home to the largest and oldest cantina in town. That's also where the Council of Governors holds its occasional strategy meetings. As mayor of the city, I have a seat on the council. The Freestar Rangers are headquartered in the upper floors. They've got the best view of the city. I like to think that means they're always keeping an eye on the rest of us. I have to say, I sleep a little easier knowing the Marshal and his Rangers are up there protecting the Freestar Collective. You really are new around here, aren't you? Aquila's every bit as dangerous as it is beautiful. There are creatures out there that pose a mortal danger to anyone caught out in the open. Foremost among them is the Ashtar. They're quick, strong, clever, and damn good hunters. I'd tell you more, but you might not sleep so good. Thankfully, the wall keeps them out. Long as you stay on the right side of it, you've got nothing to worry about. Frank's just the latest owner of the old Hassanove Manor, and he's the worst, simply the worst. But it's been a problem since the Hassanove family ran out of heirs. There's an old wrong the Cartwrights have been trying to right for decades. And hence, well, I need help. He's just another slick, rude neon corporate hack, full of himself and just awful. I mean, the core is history itself. Cads like him don't belong here. Of course, of course. The last Hassanove was Sahar. Sad tale there. By all accounts, when she lost her last grandchild around 40 years ago, well, it broke her. She packed up and just plain left the estate, built some farm far from Aquila City and the protection of its walls. It didn't take long before the Ashtar overran the farm, and just like that, no more Hassanoves. The Hassanoves were one of the early families that took to making a living in space. Very industrious, mainly miners. They settled planetside in the earliest days of Aquila City. They helped good old Solomon Coe a time or two, but they didn't fare well living in full gravity after a couple of generations in zero-G. Lots of health issues. Eventually, a string of just terrible luck left only lonely old Sahar Hassanove. Poor lady. And those that were healthy kept leaving Aquila. The call of the stars. Deadly as sin. My granddad warned her over and over it wasn't safe. So I need someone to go to the old Sahar farm, brave the Ashta, and see if she left a will. I swear I'll honor her wishes. Aquila owes her family that much. And if it happens to kick Mr. Big Shot out of the Corps, well, that would be a bonus. Sahar left no heirs, no instructions, so everything the Hassanovs owned was in limbo. What happened to the estate? Well, you'd have to be a lawyer to make heads or tails of it. But eventually it wound up on the open market, so slick neon corporate shills could grace our community. If she named any heir, we could get the estate back where it belongs. See things made right. You are a blessing. Sahar's farm is elsewhere on the planet. If you can't handle Ashta, please just don't go. I don't want this whole sordid story to have more tragedy. Be careful, and look out for yourself.
Walk 2 steps without running into
Lifting off right away, or do you need a little bit of time?
All right, let's see what's out there. Apogee kick complete. Orbit steady. Landing struts primed. Retro's firing. Pressure holding. Takeoff cruise code. Orbital pattern locked in.
If we're planning on staying a while, we could grab a room at the Stone Root Inn.
Aquila City is always haunting.
Kill for a cup of coffee right here.
I'll take Aggies over the Rock any day. Who wants to get drunk when there's rangers all around? So you sold 3 pickups today?
Yeah, might get some more on the back end. Your casserole sealed the deal.
Don't you need a wait?
Aquila City is lucky that Hope Tech still deals with them after the reception I've gotten. I come here offering business, employment opportunities, and they practically spit in my face. That's right on the money there. So Ron Hope assigns me to Aquila City, and I'm excited, right? Could be a plum assignment. But I need a place to sleep here, so I bought some prime real estate for me and my girl. And damn it, you'd think I plowed through a sacred burial site. Listen, I'm not the one selling some priceless historical manor. That's not on me. That's just the thing, isn't it? It's not really. All the manors on the core were built by the founders. But this isn't some sort of sacred ground, right? It's just housing. And the owners before, some nobody third-tier family. But it's the core. Ha! Like I care. And don't forget the damned realtor. Thanks for hearing me out. Hope you have a better day than I've had. I committed the great sin of buying a house. The fact it was in the core is apparently grounds for me to face a firing squad, based on the looks I've been getting. Everyone seems to think the core is some kind of sacred ground, only fit for worthy descendants of the city founders to live in. Well, real estate is real estate. I don't give a damn where it is. The place was for sale and I bought it. I didn't cheat or do anything wrong. If people don't like it that an outsider bought one of their ancient family residences, then it's their problem and not mine. You're damn right I don't. In fact, I almost feel sorry for her. Bunch of wrong-headed, judgmental, backward-looking dust wranglers. That's what these people are. Every credit I spent on that house, I made with honest, hard work. I come here to make my way, and this is how they treat me. I can tell they're all hoping I sell and move out, but the hell with that. I'm gonna stay here and stick it to them all. Make them suffer. Who the who? Wait. Hassanov. You mean the family that owned this manor? Oh, hell. Elias Cartwright. That man's always had it out for me. My credits are as good as anyone else around here. I got a business proposition. 10,000 credits, and I take that alleged will off your hands. No questions asked. I paid good money to live here, and they're the ones trying to cheat me. If you start seeing sense, the offer is open. This ain't the UC. We shook hands and the deal's done. Should have the contract signed tomorrow. I don't suppose you still have that will handy, hmm? Have you reconsidered my offer? 10,000 credits if you just hand it over and forget about it. You're a smart one. If you can just tell Elias or whoever that you didn't find anything, I'd be very thankful.
My cousin works for Deimos, and he says the approval process for a big deal can take months.
That's life under the boot for you. Business keeps going this good. Every deal these pretentious corn jerks worth it.
Ugh, I didn't expect Aquila City to be so... No, it's fine. My. You aren't from around here, are you? Oh, have you met my boyfriend, Frank? If he seems rude, it's only because the people around here treat him badly.
Let's be certain to stock up on some extra ammunition before we explore the wilderness around the city.
Like I said, be careful. I'd rather you forget the whole Hassanov business rather than getting hurt. Ah, hell. Pardon the language. I knew it was a long shot. Well, you risked your neck, and I couldn't let you go away empty-handed. Thank you.
Oh, this planet's gravity is certainly giving us a bit of a workout.
He used to be an actuary. Now, much to ask for? Hopefully, not so use.
Have things for you. Yeah, what is it? Yeah, take a look at this. Bye-bye.
And we're off. Achieving orbit now. Well, you didn't put us in your planet, so we must be in the right
While we
place.
scan your ship. And that's it. You're cleared to land at Hopetown.
Now this planet, this is more my speed. Oh, I could hike here for a while.
I don't want to hear any complaints. Keep an eye on your valuables.
We'd be dust, except for the factory.
I just want to get all these approvals over with.
Off-worlders. Nothing good ever comes from them.
We could save valuable weight if we got rid of the pilot seat. Maybe an ottoman? Oh, it's marvelous. Generally, they only care about efficiency, cost-effectiveness, and reliability. Oh, sure, there are the odd complaints about comfort and lack of decent airflow, but they almost always side with the numbers. Well, all of them. I've been with Mr. Hope since near the beginning. I think he appreciates my attention to detail and my focus on the fundamentals. Although he has been hinting that the R&D budget may dry up if I don't produce results. As you know, they just don't make these old parts anymore. So it's expensive. I'll throw in the labor for free, but it's still going to cost you for the parts. You're darn right it is. I'll get to work on it right away. I recommend you go back to the ship and ask the captain to prepare for its retrofit. Standard stuff. I'm sure they have an engineer on board to help. We'll send the part along when it's ready and install it with the help of Oliver's people. Pleasure working with you.
My company only uses Hope pictures. Never had a problem.
Just keep it holstered, and we'll get along fine.
Workers like to play hard here. They deserve it. Ron Hope's a damn hero in my book.
Ron Hope's...
That was fun. Now what?
Struts retracting. Let's get out of here. Orbital insertion completed. Switching over to standard engines. And you didn't even scratch the paint.
never seen a ship like yours before. Then again, I haven't seen any ships before you arrived.
Now that we know what's out there, things are going to be more interesting from here on out.
Wonder what it's like out there beyond our little community.
I was hoping to talk to our visitor from outer space, and here you are! Welcome, welcome! I have a million burning questions, but I won't overwhelm you. There will be plenty of time for that later. Please, indulge me just a couple. How did you do it? Did humanity finally discover faster than light travel and eclipse our poor old ship? Oh, I've heard of this technology, but always believed it was theoretical in nature. Maybe we can talk about it in more detail later. I'm sure you have more pressing matters to handle. I've waited this long. What's a little longer, eh? Oh, I've got so many questions, but I'm being rude. I haven't even given you my name. Chief Engineer Kazemi, but you can call me Amin. And, I might add, I'm one of the reasons we're still floating out here today. Indeed. Thank you for being so kind and indulging me. You must understand how thrilling this news is for someone like me. Someone who suspected this encounter was, in fact, possible. Some may say I'm a master of keeping things together with nothing but duct tape and bubble gum. Well, if we had any gum left. Pretty sure that ran out 100 years ago. When I'm not dealing with catastrophic engine failures, I manage the other engineers. We maintain all the machinery, computers, you name it. We keep the life support on and the ship flying. You okay there? Many years ago, when I was a junior engineer, the reactor's computer burned out. The computer that controls the reactor's various regulators. I'll spare you the details, but when that happens, the ship and everyone on it is in danger of turning into a mess of hot slag. I had to jury-rig parts from old media devices to prevent a meltdown. And that's how I became the boss around here. Ah, great question. I do not know for sure, but I can venture a guess. All of the reading I've done on the matter suggests that at the time, there was uncertainty that the technology would ever work, or if it did, that it would work at the scale we needed. So, I trust they made the decision to strike out when they did, fully believing it was the only way. Yes! So many! Does everyone have their own spaceships like you? Do people only live on naturally habitable planets, or did they learn to terraform? Are we in contact with alien species? I have so many more, but I don't want to take up all your time. Haha! I knew it! Incredible! Amazing! Simply amazing! In our ancestors' time, only the very wealthy could afford to build ships. Even this ship was only possible by our families pulling together nearly all of their financial resources. I'm not surprised. The amount of energy it would take to terraform an entire planet seems improbable. I can assume these types of colonies are strictly for mining and gathering rare resources, since there are nearly limitless habitable planets to choose from out there. Disappointing, but not unexpected. When you showed up, I tried to tell the others about the Fermi paradox. I suggested that the most likely explanation for you was that humanity had developed faster, more advanced technology and had leapfrogged us. Seems I was right. Thank you for taking the time to talk with me. I can have a bit of a big personality, I'm told. So let me know if I ever get on your nerves. What grab drive? Just joking with you. The Paradiso engineers filled me in. Okay, let's see what we need to do. All right. This will be fun. And hopefully there will be no explosions in the process. I have just received word that the drive is here. Ready to get to work? Oh, don't worry about that. Just a little engineering humor. We've kept this ship going with minimal incidents this long. I'm not about to let anything happen to it now. But, to be clear, what we're doing is very dangerous, and we should be prepared for anything. Yes, of course I need your help. My team needs to stay on top of their daily maintenance, and I need to make my own preparations for this gravity drive you brought us. Your help is going to be vital to this procedure. And have no worries, it'll be easy. I'll guide you through the process. Great, great, great! There are 3 preparations I need you to help me make while I set things up on my end. First thing I need you to do is reroute the power from the port turbo pump to the auxiliary cryogenic radiator. Then, turn the plasma runoff inhibitor function to 5%. Last, you'll need to decouple the magnetic flange pipe enclosures from the auxiliary module assembly. Got it? Let's hop to it!
Sure is nice to know there are other people out there.
I noticed a malfunction in the tertiary condenser coils.
Didn't we just fix that? Make sure to check it over carefully this time when you finish and verify nothing else is wrong with it.
Pretty sure I know how to fix it, but shouldn't take long.
These are exciting times, aren't they?
fancy gun around. You don't need to see.
I have to say, with technology this outdated, I'm amazed this vessel is able to navigate at all. It's almost like walking through a museum.
No matter the outcome, I won't let my crew down. Well, it would appear we have the means to go nearly anywhere now, thanks to you. The engineers even upgraded our communications equipment so we can speak with passing ships. Turns out it was a pretty easy fix. Thank you again for all you've done. We don't yet know, but we did receive a star map from the Paradiso engineers. I suppose we'll just chart a course for other suitable habitable worlds until we find one that matches the quality of Paradiso. Purima 2 here. Payment. I hope that's not all you care about. It's not enough to help a ship full of poor colonists searching for a new home, I suppose. Still, you did help us. We don't have much to spare, but I'm sure we can find some way of repaying you. We've roamed the stars for almost 200 years. What's a little longer? Goodness, I'm not sure yet. We'll need to study our new star map. Then, well, I suppose we'll venture forth and try to find the perfect new home for us. It may take some time, but I'm confident we'll find something. And when we do, we'll find a shuttle to take us planetside. Thanks again for your help. That planet was not right for us anyway. No doubt the next one will be. Understandably, some are disappointed that we gave up our home, but I think I've managed to convince them that this will be best in the long term. I have no doubt that even if it takes more time, we will manage to find something even better. And it's important to remember we're still way ahead of our original schedule. Everything will be fine. That's a good question, but I firmly believe that establishing our own home is what our ancestors would want for us. I think that we will assimilate to some degree, particularly when it comes to trade and exchange of ideas. However, we've fared by ourselves for so long, it would be unreasonable for our people to give up our own sovereignty in favor of a completely different society's rules and expectations. It may seem like it's about me maintaining control, but it's more about avoiding massive culture shock. We'll get there, but we'll need to ease into it so future generations can reap the benefits. Don't forget to tell of us in your travels.
Just stay out of trouble.
We were never trained to address threats coming from outside our ship. Now that we know what's out there, things are going
entire life in the constant. I'm not sure how else to live.
Wow! Just because our equipment's old doesn't mean it
Hey! Maybe you could help out Abe. He's been talking about meeting someone with a ship.
Oh, I've heard about you. The visitor who helped us get into the situation we're now in, roaming the galaxy with no end in sight. Sorry, I don't mean to be ungrateful or rude. I'm just frustrated. Is it that obvious? Breckenridge is intent on finding a home just as perfect as Paradiso, and it's clear that's never going to happen. I'd love to leave. But outside of you and the occasional passing trade ships we make contact with, there aren't any ways off this ship. And besides, Breckenridge forbids it. I've tried. She insists we stay together for the sake of the community. I'm stuck here. Oh my God, yes! It's all I've ever known. But I feel a deep need to get out of here. I can't explain it. Maybe it was all those movies I saw as a kid. Green meadows, beaches, lush forests, mountains. I've always wanted to experience these things. And we were so close to it, damn it! I could almost feel it. So yeah, I'm done with this place. It's a long shot. You've dealt with her. You know she can be stubborn. But then again, you did make her see reason before and set us on this path. Maybe you can do it again and fix this mess. Sorry, I know it may not sound like it, but I'd actually be really grateful to you if you succeed.
The captain just needs an outside perspective. I'm confident we can get her to see reason here and convince her to let you leave.
The Constant is a peaceful ship. Don't change that.
Realize it now, but we will be much happier with a home of our own. I'm well aware of Janet's desire to leave. I'll tell you the same thing I told her. For the sake of our mission and community, we need to stay together. Each member of our community is valuable, especially Janet. If she left, we'd be at least a couple of weeks behind in food production while we trained someone to fill her role. But I suppose if you brought us more food staples to tide us over while that happens, we could do it. Say, a large quantity of potatoes? Yes. Losing her would mean one less person to help out, and we're strained as it is. We're all in this together, have been since the very start. If she goes, then who else will want to go? We need to preserve our culture for the sake of our mission, and it's hard to do that if everyone leaves. I'll be the judge of that. I suppose not. It would be bad for all of us if she slipped into depression. Maybe we can work something out. I hear you. It's not a definite no. I just need to think about it some more. Well, you've got away with words, I'll give you that. Once again, you've convinced me to do the right thing. And while I'm not happy about letting one of our own go, I think you're right. It's for the best. Let her know she's free to leave on the next ship willing to take her. I just hope this doesn't prompt others to want to leave as well.
You've made a wise choice, Captain. Something from history slates that I've read. Oh, I feel I should know who this person is, but somehow it's escaped my memory.
Never seen a ship like yours before. Then again, I haven't seen any ships before you arrived.
So close to finding our new home.
Boy, am I glad you weren't some sort of...
Great. How many more days, months, years?
To address threats coming from outside our ship.
Hi there.
Even if you... Good luck, I guess. But I'm not holding my breath. Certainly not what I want to do. I mean, I hate this job, and there's really nothing I can do about it. I'm the cultivation manager. Fancy words for farmer and fertilizer collector. I didn't have a choice. Most people don't. You get a job, and that's it. Like, I'm great at what I do, but I would enjoy doing literally anything else. Meanwhile, my sister Julia, she gets to hang out with kids all day and watch movies. The kids I couldn't care less about, but she doesn't even care about Earth culture. Ugh. still pretty terrible, even though we're now supposedly on our way to our new home. I'm still stuck here with the same people and the same job, day in and day out. Only now, we occasionally see other space travelers. I was really hoping we could finally settle somewhere, because then at least I could hitch a ride out of wherever we landed. Sometimes I wonder if my sister was the lucky one. Ah, so you've met her. No, not Julia. Julia and I were actually triplets with our sister Jen, but the ship ran out of one of her medications and she didn't make it. Sucks, but it is what it is. We only have so many supplies. We couldn't exactly get anything new along the way. Anyway, it happened a long time ago. I don't really feel that she's lucky. I'm just frustrated. Wait, for real? How? I thought I was going to have to escape on my own somehow, but if she's given me her blessing, that's even better. If I'm being honest, I should have known you can do it. After all, you're the reason we're still out here. I heard about what you did for us, getting that grav drive or whatever. I was kind of hoping you'd overhear me and offer to help earlier. I probably should have just asked you, but I guess I'm not good at asking for help. Anyway, thanks for helping me. I know you didn't need to. No idea. One of the techs who helped retrofit the grav drive onto the Constant mentioned a place called New Atlantis. Maybe I'll check it out. It sounded interesting. Anyway, seems like a good place to start, especially if I want to find a job that isn't farming. Julia? Oh, she'll be fine. She loves this stupid ship. I've tried talking her into coming with me, but she won't budge. Like almost everyone else, she believes in the original mission. Whatever. I'm sure I'll hear news of the Constant's whereabouts. Maybe I'll even come back to visit. She's my sister, after all. Thanks again. I'm going to need it. It's a whole new world out there. I hope we meet again someday.
Is out there. Hydroponics, of course. This must be how the colony ship kept itself fed over all these years in space.
And to think, all this time we thought we were alone.
Thanks to you, I'm now able to get my hands on life-saving treatments we never thought
Careful waving that fancy gun around. You don't need to see what it can do.
Any idea how much longer?
Just stay out of trouble.
Never seen a ship like yours before. Then again, I haven't seen any ships before you arrived.
a special type of person to live their entire life, birth to death, aboard a single ship traveling through space.
Oh, hi! Hello! You're the alien. Sorry, old habit. Let me start over. You're the person who helped us with our little dilemma, aren't you? Sorry, yeah. Deep breath. Here we go. I'm Abe. Levitz. Abe Levitz, cabin manager on board the ship. So, I'm happy to help you with anything you need during your stay with us. I'm happy to schmooze with you anytime. Me? Hey, well, there's not much to say. I take care of people here. I live with my husband, Daisuke. No kids, though that might change now that we no longer need to worry about resources so much. Instead, I get to spend time with everyone and their families here. They call me their bubby because I'm like the grandmother they never had. I may have had something to do with that nickname. Glad you asked! I coordinate cabin maintenance, plan activities, even help settle domestic disputes. It's a demanding job, but in short, I'm here to keep people happy. I try to keep both the kids and adults entertained. Scavenger hunts, sing-alongs, fun little art projects, you name it. We also have regular media nights where a historian, Julia Yang, screens old movies, plays music, and exposes us to other Earth media. People didn't know what to think. Here we are, minding our own business out in deep space, all alone. Then we hear some sort of garbled transmissions on the radio, real screechy, real inhuman sounding stuff. Then you show up? People had all sorts of fakakta theories, aliens, time travelers, you name it. We watch a lot of old movies, so... Anyway, it spooked the bejesus out of us because we were expecting to find nobody. Oh, you heard? I was just kvetching to myself. Mostly I just need to find someone with a ship, but hey, you're someone with a ship, aren't you? I'll save you the spiel, but ever since we found out that people exist out there, the crew's been asking me if we could track down possible relatives. I made the mistake of looking some up, and now they want to connect with them. Now, I'm not gonna ask you to schlep anyone back and forth, but could you deliver these messages for us to connect our crew with their relatives? Oh, you're such a mensch! Thank you! Let me get you the letter and the information you'll need to track down the relative.